Live from the Akrs Broadcast Center, inside of Memorial Stadium, it's the Nebraska Athletics AD Show with Troy Dannon.
They are bunched up around the line of scrimmage. Handoff to Dowdell off the right side. Touchdown, Nebraska! Dante Dowdell finds Peter. 6-0 Big Red. Let those balloons loose.
And here it comes. No, it's a lollipop right at Harper. To Bergen. Back row. Merritt Beeson. Kaboom! We're tied at 15. Sit 5. Wow.
Snap back. Kaliak is going to throw it. Being flushed out of the pocket, rolling downfield, looking, throws. Pass intercepted. Picked off by the Huskers at the 27-yard line. Marquise Buford with an INT. The Huskers will take over at their own 27-yard line.
Bergen sends it to the back middle. Great pass again by Hudson. Outside set. Chloe Chacoin tipping. And there's Bergen. Huskers have it. 16-15 in the fifth. Right side. Merritt. She got it. Point Big Red. Call the grandkids. Nebraska takes down Purdue, 17-15, set number 5, and they love it in Lincoln.
Here's your host, Greg Sharpe, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Thank you. Welcome to our monthly sit-down with the athletic director for the Nebraska Cornhuskers, Troy Dannon. If you want to be a part of the program tonight, our text line, 402-413-2400. We also are up on our YouTube channel. If you want to pop a question in there, I will be monitoring that throughout the hour. Good to see you. Things going okay?
Things are great.
What did you do for a bye week?
I actually, the bald head syndrome from my break, I went and had things burnt off and cut off and went.
That doesn't sound like much fun, Troy.
Went to hide for a little bit, but it was good to have a weekend, just spend some time with the family because there haven't been many of those. It's been a pretty wild ride here in just under 7 months now for me, but it's a great 7 months. The family loves it here. I'm having the time of my life. I've got a really good crew, really good department staff, great coaches here. So, what's not to love? And plus, we've come off a win. And when you go into a bye week off a win, it's 2 weeks of feeling good about yourself, not 2 weeks of angst and worry.
I think the entire staff kind of needed a break. We had 5 football games early, a lot of volleyball matches early. So you've really kind of pushed your people. I think everybody liked the chance to take a big, deep breath.
Well, and those 5 football games, 3 of them were at night, 4 of them in a row. And night games are just a different level of work because you're still here at 8 o'clock in the morning, but you're not going home till midnight. Mm-hmm. And so many people, and to your point, all the volleyball home games, it's great to be able to have all those home games, but it was an exhaustive September and early October for a lot of people. But you're right. There's a lot of enthusiasm, momentum, and success, and so people sometimes feel like their efforts are more rewarded when they see the teams perform in the field that way.
Both are ranked. Volleyball number 2, football 25 in the coaches poll. You have to like the start that those two teams are off to.
Well, and I'm always looking ahead too. Not only are they ranked, women's basketball's ranked. Yep. I think Fred's going to have a much better year than maybe the prognostications say. And in basketball anymore, the way the rosters are put together. You just don't know because it's almost a completely different looking team each year. So a lot to be enthused for. Went out and watched a little baseball in the past week, and I wasn't sure you were going to get these 70-degree beautiful days in mid-October, but it's beautiful for baseball and softball. So a lot to look forward to as we kind of climax these fall seasons. But I'm really excited for what lies ahead the winter and the spring too.
The exposure, I want to talk about that, Troy, in the next 2 weeks. Great opportunity. I've been telling people all week, Big Fox, the noon kickoff, both the next 2 weeks. Volleyball's on NBC on Saturday. This is incredible.
Well, it's interesting how volleyball, and we saw it with ABC earlier in the year, volleyball, Nebraska volleyball is kind of the gold standard. And so when it comes to how do we put volleyball on, how do we expose volleyball to the country, the networks are coming to Nebraska. It's something to be very proud of what Coach Cook and Coach Pettit before him have built. So one, that's neat. The attention's great. But to your point on the 2 Fox games, being on national television, especially at a program that is reinventing itself and redisplaying its ability to win at a level that it hasn't for a few years for whatever reason. It's important for recruits. It's important for the brand. It's important for just the credibility of everything we're trying to do here. So those things go a long, long way. Even we talked about the Friday night game last time, but inside the department, inside the football room, everybody loved the idea of playing on Friday night because we were a standalone national television game, and there were going to be a lot of eyeballs focused on us. So you can't undersell or overestimate how much that stuff means in this phase of the development of Matt's program.
This is the first kind of full year of the new TV package. Kevin Warren got the ball rolling for the Big Ten. Tony Patini kind of finished it up. But to be on NBC, CBS, Fox, you've got pretty much everything covered, right?
I think everything is covered, and it's even nice when we're sitting at home and volleyball's on the road. You can every game, and it's quality production. There's been some games where some of the fans have reached out to me and said this game is not what we're used to. Well, two things. One, I think it does speak to what we've gotten used to is a pretty high standard, and it speaks to having all these networks and all the resources available to the networks. But it also tells us and my communication on the Big Ten how important it is that regardless of the network is on, whether it's on Big Ten Plus, whether it's Peacock or anything else, we've got our fan bases now accustomed to a really high level of production, and we've got to maintain that no matter what the network is that the game is on. We had a Peacock game, the Purdue game, the road game a couple weeks ago. Did you get a lot of feedback on that? I got a decent share of feedback on it, and I get it. And Brandon Meyer, who's going to be on here later, that really oversees a lot of that side of it for us. I think we both knew when we saw the truck that was outside. It wasn't your typical semi. It was a smaller truck that's used maybe more for local productions. And I also think that was the first week that Peacock is a subsidiary of NBC. I think had 3 games, and that was the first time they had 3 games that day. So I think they got spread a little thin. Growing pains, right? With putting this new group together, there's growing pains we're all going to go through. But I love the exposure. I'm proud of the network. I'm proud of the opportunities we're going to have to display who we are and how it's coast to coast now. As if it wasn't before, it is coast to coast now. We sure are. One of the great games in the season was last Saturday night, the Ohio State-Oregon game. Terrific game, big numbers. There was an interesting, quirky loophole in the rules that Oregon took advantage of. You've sat on some of these football rules committees in the past. Were you impressed with how quickly they closed that loophole? I mean, they have fixed that this week. Yeah, impressed how quickly. Sometimes when rules change, you don't think of the potential scenarios. Like you solve one problem and create another, and a lot of times you recognize that. I'm surprised this one got through. But, there was a very quick response to it. And I'm happy for that. But, it's complicated because the football rules are governed by the NCAA, and the Rules Committee is. Steve Shaw, as the National Coordinator of Officials, is actually employed by the commissioners, the CCA, the Collegiate Commissioners Association, not by the NCAA. And the committee that I chaired was the Football Competition Committee, which, again, was an NCAA committee, but all of these committees had to come together and talk about everything rule-wise, so it becomes a little unwieldy. And so for it to get done that quickly was impressive. And the thing to remember, like Bill Carollo, who's the supervisor of officials football for the Big Ten. Yeah. He's been there. When I was at Northern Iowa, he also was doing the Big Ten, and he had the Missouri Valley at the time. Former NFL official. Those who grew up in my era, we saw he was that white hat that we saw all the time on the NFL games. So we've got really good leadership, and so their ability and their experience, I think, makes it fairly easy to make things happen quickly. Do you tip your cap to Oregon for knowing the loophole? How do you view that? Well, I joked. I wondered, wasn't it as intentional as everybody says it was, or was it not as intentional? But I will tell you this: don't believe that there's not somebody on each football staff that knows the rules and the ins and outs as good as anybody, and that we've got these massive staffs. Somebody is thinking through every scenario and trying to find some competitive advantage through the playing rules. So it probably doesn't surprise me. I guess it would surprise me that it's taken this long for it to play out in a game, because it's not a secret. This was just the first time it really exposed itself in a very, very visible place. Those couple seconds might have made the difference for a win or loss for Oregon. Yep. Well, it probably hurried the next pass, that's for sure. Sure. Something that's happened since your last show is that the transfer portal rules are being shortened. And I know some people wanted the spring one to go completely away. That did not happen. Your thoughts about that? Well, the statistics on the portal, and I think this is 5 or 6 years that we've had the portal now, the vast majority of students go into the portal the first 4 days. And so what was happening with that last week in the portal were once kids committed to another school, somebody that maybe thought they were going to have that position and see, oh, we just took somebody in the portal. They were diving in at the last minute. And it wasn't, it was more a reaction than anything else. So I think shortening the windows a little bit is going to help maybe give a little bit more stability, but still give the athletes plenty of opportunity to get in and make a transfer if they want to. I'm not a proponent of going to one portal. And frankly, if we went to one portal, we should go to one in the spring and not one in the winter. Because from an academic standpoint, I would rather have somebody, there's still academics at the center of this.
Sure.
Making a change at the end of the year is better than making a change in the middle of the year. However, in football, the kids who want to go into the portal want to go in December because they want to play spring ball in the off and learn the offense and defense of the program they're going to. So I think who only knows what's going to happen in a year, right? The way things are changing right now. And it wouldn't surprise me if this doesn't come back up. But the argument that we want to go to one portal solely for roster stability is probably not a winner. There probably needs to be a little bit of a better argument for it. And just in general, with what we've seen happen with all the NCAA legislation, if it's student-oriented and would be perceived publicly as maybe most beneficial to the student, I think those rules are pretty solid. And I think as rules come up and as questions come up, it will be asked in that lens. Is it beneficial, advantageous to the student? Not is it beneficial, advantageous to the coach of the program?
It's pretty taxing on the coaches, isn't it? Are you getting feedback from your coaches about how taxing this portal has added to their workload and December basketball, kind of late March and April? I mean, they kind of remake the whole thing. It's probably hard on them.
Yeah, I've told all of our coaches, not to complain because,
it is what it is.
I changed jobs, 7 months ago. We all, it's hard to have angst for anybody who's trying to improve what they think is their lot in life. Whether it's a student athlete, the coaches have agents who've tried to get them other jobs and gotten them here. So, it kind of is what it is. It's new, and we'll adjust to it. When the pendulum's released, it goes all the way to the other side, and we never have the patience to let it settle before we want to make the next decision. And so, if we let the pendulum settle a little bit, and I think that's what's happening, maybe by accident because of the House settlement, we'll see where we really need to go from there.
Since our last visit, there was a big Board of Regents meeting out in Kearney, a couple of big agenda items that affect UNL sports. The approval of alcohol, your thoughts about that, and then some other projects that got approved by the Regents.
Well, it was important, and I'm thrilled that the board was willing to do it because it's hard. It's a very culturally, it was a hard decision to make for a lot of people, and there are very strong feelings both ways. But there have been very strong feelings both ways at every institution that's done it. I would tell you, the whole stadium project, the whole how do we adjust and adapt to the revenue share model that's coming down the road. Believe it or not, alcohol sale is really the first domino to fall for both of those things because the alcohol sales for us leads to a concession. We're out bidding on a concessionaire. We do concessions ourselves, and it's kind of Friday night high school football-ish. We do a really good job from a staff standpoint, but we need to have bigger, better offerings, and so we're bringing a vendor in. But until we did alcohol sales, that affects the vendor and whether the vendors are even going to be interested, and it affects the revenue because as we get into the revenue share model, we're trying to generate every dollar we can. At the same time, I've told our staff, we can't increase ticket prices, season ticket prices at the very least, in the stadium until the stadium's renovation is done. So if we say we're going to be finite with ticket prices, how do we generate additional revenue? And this is a very key component to it. So a lot of dominoes will start to fall, but this was an important one. And I will say that the data says that we will have a better and more controlled environment inside the stadium because binge drinking doesn't tend to occur like it does with people before the game or going out at halftime and coming back in. And that's what others have experienced. And so much like everybody was up in arms when we went to cashless concessions this year, and statistically, operationally, it's really proved to be a good thing. I think we'll see the same thing with alcohol sales.
So that's football, volleyball starting next fall?
That's every venue that we have. So theoretically, the others are track and soccer where we would have
you control.
Attendance that we control on our facility. So we'll think volleyball, wrestling, probably a lot in Devaney. and then football. But we haven't decided exactly how we're going to operationalize it in the other sports, but we have the ability now to sell it in all the sports on campus.
The other things for the Regents, a new track, phase 2 for the track. Can you explain a little bit about that? And then a football practice field project.
Yeah, so the track, when the Osborne Legacy Complex was contemplated, it forced the removal of the track, and it was relocated. And, in my mind, when you relocate a facility to build a new one, it's not complete until it's complete. And so the Osborne Legacy Complex is not complete until the track is finally relocated. So we don't have the ability to host meets. We don't have water, potable water. We don't have restrooms. We don't have anything out there right now. We have a nice track. So this is really the grandstands, the locker rooms, the things you need to host meets. And I anticipate Big Ten championships will be coming here, maybe as early as 26. And then, quite honestly, we have a track program coming off Big Ten championships, right, and a track program that's going to be competing both genders this year, top 10 in the country. So we need to have a facility that
matches your program.
Matches the quality of the program. So that was an important one. The practice fields, if anybody's been back behind the Hawks and seen the 2 grass practice fields, they still have crowns on them, and they basically still have the subsurface from 30 years ago when they were built. So the field project is to dig those things all the way down, put good drainage in, build the base the way it should, get good dirt in there to sustain the grass that we need to have, redo the irrigation, and level the field so we can rotate them, whether east, west, north, south, and reduce wear and tear in the fields. That's a project that's probably long overdue. But again, I consider that maybe a part of the start of the Memorial Stadium project as we get prepared for everything that lies ahead. There's more than fixing the south side of the stadium that needs to be done as a part of that project.
Very good. You okay stepping out for the next segment?
I think I should step out for the next 2 because my guess was Brandon Meyer gets in here. This is what the fans want to talk about is this is the guy that you can blame for the drones. This is the guy that we can blame for about everything, or actually give him credit. He does a whale of a job, and I'm actually excited to listen to him.
By the way, the balloons for the last game, the wind was outrageous. It took a while for those things to spin out of there.
I had a good conversation with Matt, jokingly a couple of days later, that if we'd have missed a kick because that one of those balloons dove down at the snap and interfered with the kick, it would have been the last day we did balloons.
Yeah.
But it made for fascinating visual, that's for sure.
97 degrees in October. Doesn't seem right, did it?
No, it didn't. And to think, we knew, our next game was in November. We could go from 97 degrees to the snow flurries in the air for our next game, and that's just. It's crazy to think.
I think our coldest game last year was Purdue, and it was like the first week of November, and it was the coldest game of the season. So, yeah, could be. All right, don't leave. We're not going to lock the doors, but we're going to bring Brandon in for the next segment. Very good. Troy Dannon with us here. Dorothy Lynch, Homestyle Light and Lean Dressing, endless flavorabilities. All right, text line is open, 402-413-2400. Brandon Meyer, Senior Associate AD, charge of Marketing and Multimedia, will join me next.
Husker fans, visit a participating AGCO dealer now until November 1st and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets and pregame hospitality passes to the Nebraska versus Wisconsin football game on November 23rd in Lincoln. See your True Turf and Ag locations in Osmond, Columbus, and Falls City, Osceola Implement, and Kearney Equipment to enter for your chance to win this season.
Hey Husker fans, get game ready at Alumni Hall, your ultimate Nebraska Cornhusker shopping experience. Upgrade your tailgate gear, shop officially licensed Nebraska clothing for the family, or load up on hats, gifts, and accessories. Spend $150 and you'll receive a $10 reward on your next purchase with Alumni Hall's Hall Pass rewards. Nebraska students, faculty, and military receive 10% off when shopping in store. Come shop at Alumni Hall, located in downtown and in the South Point Pavilion in Lincoln, or shop alumnihall.com. Alumni Hall, where Husker fans shop.
Life doesn't come with guarantees, but working with Rob Seco comes pretty close. Our strategic investments in the seed we offer are designed to directly improve your bottom line. From full trait platforms, breeding and development, to field-by-field planning and seed-driven crop inputs, with Rob Seco, you have precisely what you need to improve plant performance and increase yield. Every farm, every crop, and every acre. Learn more at robseco.com.
Hi, I'm Tom Osborne, former football coach and co-founder of the Teammates Mentoring Program.
And I'm Des Moines Adams, Husker Black Shirt and CEO of Teammates Mentoring.
We're recruiting Teammates mentors and need caring adults to be in the lives of our students.
Meeting with a student once a week at the school can make a positive impact in their life and have a ripple effect in our communities.
Please join our team.
Go to teammates.org today.
When you're in the stands and have the ability to control your irrigation in the field, it's a game-changing moment. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Experience real-time, play-by-play action and control that keeps you ahead. Score big with irrigation technology from Valley. It's technology that improves your life and lets you be at the game and in the game. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Here in Nebraska, we love our teachers. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is teaming up with Husker Athletics to recognize teachers who help students live their best and healthiest lives. Visit huskers.com/touchdown for teachers today to tell us about your favorite Nebraska educator. Winning teachers get a school day visit from Herbie Husker and a VIP experience at the 2025 Husker Football Spring Game, thanks to their biggest fans at Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska. Head to huskers.com/touchdown for teachers today.
Husker fans, visit a participating AGCO dealer now until November 1st and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets and pregame hospitality passes to the Nebraska versus Wisconsin football game on November 23rd in Lincoln. See your True Turf and Ag locations in Osmond, Columbus, and Falls City, Osceola Implement, and Kearney Equipment to enter for your chance to win this season.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Life doesn't come with guarantees, but working with Rob Seco comes pretty close. Our strategic investments in the seed we offer are designed to directly improve your bottom line. From full trait platforms, breeding and development, to field-by-field planning and seed-driven crop inputs, with Rob Seco, you have precisely what you need to improve plant performance and increase yield. Every farm, every crop, and every acre. Learn more at robseco.com.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. When you've got beer and football, nothing is hard, until the other team scores. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus, copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
It's time for another round of Nebraska Farm Facts. If there's one thing Nebraska's known for, it's our beef. And Nebraska soybeans feed a lot of them, and even more pigs and chickens. Farmers and ranchers raise livestock and poultry to provide nutritious, affordable protein for all ages to help build muscle and maintain energy for a healthy lifestyle. Keep that in mind as you prepare all that tasty meat on your tailgate grill. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. It's our athletic director show for the month, brought to you by Woodhouse, the official auto dealer of Husker Athletics. Troy Dannon is going to stay a part of the conversation, but we're going to focus with Brandon Meyer, the senior associate athletic director for marketing and multimedia. You handle a lot of the game day presentation type things. How fun, how challenging was September with all those games in a row and a bunch of them being at night games where you can really get kind of cool and funky with the drones?
My team loves the night games.
I bet.
You know, it's our chance to kind of showcase all the different toys and different things that we have to make our game day atmosphere fun. So yeah, the pyro, the drones, the light show, we had a few in a row there, but it was a ton of fun. Probably my highlight of the season was just watching Coach Prime stare at the drones the entire fourth quarter timeout and not care about his team. It was neat.
Take me through the drone thing. How did that kind of come about? Who does all that for you, and how much cooperation between what you want to see and what they want to create?
Really started with Coach Rule. I think he'd saw it in New York on vacation maybe, and he started kind of a text chain and said, we must do this. It just happened then a local company from Norfolk came during volleyball day and said, hey, we're getting into this business. We'd like to try it. This would be a great chance to try it. And then we just started working through the logistics of kind of FAA approvals and what it all takes to pull it off. And then this year, they've added to it. They've added so many drones, they can now do 3D images. And the drone piece of it alone is fascinating.
Now, the one thing we hear, and it's I don't know if there's any way to do it, people who sit on the east side maybe can't get as good a view of it because they're blocked, because it's kind of set up here in the northeast. I don't know there's nothing you really can do, right?
There isn't. It's tough. There's only one spot where they can really take off, and the drones aren't allowed to fly over people, so they have to really take off from the practice fields and kind of hover over the practice fields as close as they can. But they are going higher, and they are getting more and more drones, so I think that's helped things out a little bit.
How about game day presentations at volleyball? What have you kind of come up with there? Because it's pretty special too.
Volleyball is really special. Bailey and our marketing group does an awesome job there. What an atmosphere for a volleyball match. And all the things they do kind of around the game. We were so happy to get the bobblehead for John Cook's 25th anniversary and kind of surprise him with that. Really thankful that we ordered 8,000 of those. If we would have we talked about maybe doing the first 1,000 through the door, but I think we would have had fights in the concourse had we only done 1,000 of the bobbleheads. But no, I mean, we had kind of a mini light show at volleyball last weekend. But no, they do an awesome job, and but the fans are part of it. The fans are what make the atmosphere, and when they're getting up and yelling and clapping, and they know the words to every song that's played, and they're singing along, they're dancing along, they're participating. That's what really makes the atmosphere special.
Troy, how surprising has that been to you? Because football is an experience, and it is a lot of places around the country, but there's nothing like that going on in volleyball. Is there around this country?
No. Well, there's nothing. If we did nothing, there's nothing going on in volleyball around the country like what happens in that building. And then you add the show to it. This is in some ways, Brandon, we're promoters. It's the show. It's not just the game. And so I've been overwhelmed by what he and his team have put together. Coming in here, I've never seen anything like it. And I get surprised, to see, and I was out of town last weekend, obviously, but to see what they did with the volleyball, watching on TV, it's spectacular.
Yeah. We talked about being busy in September. You're about to get really busy. The crossover season's close. Basketball's almost here. You unveiled a new court for PBA this year. And I know there's some changes down the road for PBA, new scoreboard, that type of thing that'll be happening in the future. But we set? We ready for some hoops?
We are. We've got the new court that we rolled out last week. We did get some feedback that there is no state outline on the court, but the court design changes every 3 to 5 years, and we didn't want the exact same court that we had previously, and that design was approved about a year ago, I guess the good thing about this court is it's a nice simple design, and no matter where you're at in the arena, the N doesn't look backwards, so it'll be good.
How about the setup over there to do game day presentation stuff as well? Your thoughts about the way PBA is set up for that?
Yeah, PBA has been a great venue since it was launched. I know they're working right now with the city to get some new video boards. Last year, we did some sound upgrades. We did some different things with moving the audio positions. They do a great job with lights and LED and things there. So, no, I thought the basketball atmosphere last year was better than it ever was, and I'm really just looking forward to building on that this year.
Brandon, was last year the first year we kind of changed the traffic flow a little bit about how people could get in and out? Because I know it's been a problem because people will dump out of there in that under 4 timeout and walk right around the court. That's not really ideal to have that happen. I think last year was maybe the first year to do that.
We made some operational changes with keeping the railing up towards the end, and that's probably more Matt Davidson's area on just traffic flow and how we keep that. But no, I'll be honest with you, from my standpoint, it did look bad. It looks bad on TV with a close game. Your game's within 5, and the under 4 timeout, all you can see is people on TV leaving your basketball arena. So that was a bad look, and this certainly helped fix that.
Had some fun basketball events. They did a thing in the rail yard a few weeks ago.
Opening night in the rail yard was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
Good weather?
It was great weather. There was a great crowd down there. We had autographs. We had some 3-point contests. It was different than we traditionally have. We've traditionally done kind of an open practice in PBA and a concert afterwards. Basketball team wanted to change it up. And no, I was really happy with how that went. Happy with how many fans came down to support our basketball teams, and it was fun. There wasn't a ton of high-level basketball when you put down one of these temporary courts. I don't think you expect a full court scrimmage, but we had a good time.
Then took it back to the Bob. Took a little scrimmage last week.
Took it to Devaney for a little scrimmage, and that was good as well. It was good to see basketball back in the Bob, wasn't it?
Sure was. Kind of fun. A lot of memories for me. I saw so many games in that venue. All right, 2 home football games left. Give us a teaser. Are there some things planned? Obviously, you'll have a senior day for one of those.
The big one is Military Appreciation Day that we have at the UCLA that's coming up. Every year we do the Operation Hat Trick kind of apparel line. And we've won that 2 years in a row, and really by winning it means our fans have purchased a lot of Operation Hat Trick products, and they're giving us $30,000 to spend here locally with some charities. And so we have some awesome things planned for the UCLA game. Nebraska fans are so patriotic, and so that game's always special. And then Senior Day. I believe right now we have 19 seniors that and some really influential guys on our squad that we can't wait to send them out.
The Military Appreciation pregame show is my favorite of the year. You, a couple years ago, made a tweak for the student kind of tailgate over in what they call it by the Union. How's that gone?
In the common area we did. We started putting tents up. We noticed that students were buying tickets to our football games, but they weren't always getting to the football games. It was half empty when we kicked off. And it really started out when we hosted Game Day in 2019.
Right.
We hosted Game Day out here in the Horseshoe, and the Game Day asked if there were some student groups who could set up tents. So they did. About 10 groups set up tents for Game Day, and afterwards they came to us and said, that was really good. Like, we want to be a part of Game Day like this more often, and that really spawned the student tailgate, and now there's 40-some tents.
Wow.
And about 5,000 students go over there and mingle before the game. They have some food. They have some Pepsi and bubblers and water, and play some cornhole, and then they make their way to the stadium. So no, it's been really good to keep students engaged. Students, I feel like, aren't going off campus. They're staying on campus, and they're attending games, and they're being loud, and they're involved. And that's from my seat. That's all I can ask.
They make an impact. They
really
do
make a huge impact.
BTN going to be bringing their tailgate show to us?
BTN will be bringing their tailgate show for UCLA. It sounds like. So,
good.
Yeah,
oh, good.
That'll be really good.
Great exposure for having them here as well. How about the Legacy Walk that we started this year? The team's kind of getting off at a different part coming into the Osborne complex. How have you felt like that's gone?
I love it. Love the Legacy Walk. It's instead of kind of making a few different turns and dropping at the bell tower, the team drops on 14th Street and comes right up through the Hall of Fame. We put out some speakers. It's just easier for the fans. They walk right through. It's easy to get a high five from your favorite player. I love how Dylan's the one that is first off the bus and kind of leads it, and then they go right into the Osborne Legacy Complex. So it's been a really good change, and also helps traffic. normally our walk interrupted people trying to park in their parking spots, and they had to wait. This has simplified everything. It's a nice straight shot, and I know Coach Rule likes it as well.
Very good. We've been talking on Sports Island the last couple weeks about this blood drive that the conference has put on. Abbott is involved in this thing with the conference. We're rocking it, right? Nebraska's rocking this thing.
We are leading right now in this blood drive. Every person who participates is entered for a chance to win 2 tickets to the Big Ten championship game.
Great.
So that's good. I want to encourage everyone to, to sign up and to give. The winning school gets $1 million to go to campus to kind of help health and wellness initiatives. That money could be transformative for our campus, and so really hoping that Huskers fans show out. And the blood drive here at the stadium, I got to look at the exact time, is Sunday, November 6th from 8 to 4 in West Stadium.
So they can come do it here.
Yep, you can still do it here. Sign-ups are available on huskers.com/giveblood. If you're not in Lincoln or you're unavailable on November 6th, Husker fans anywhere in America can donate in any state and just submit their proof on big10.org/Abbott, and it counts towards our Husker total.
So if they're in Florida or California, they can still count to Nebraska's total.
Yep, just scan it and submit it, and they'll add it to our total.
Love it. Abbott, that's a nice little thing, Troy, for them to kind of do that, and heck, let's win this thing.
Well, it's a wonderful thing, and the Big Ten, from a medical standpoint, obviously the cancer network within the Big Ten, the assimilation of all the great medical research institutions, including ours.
Yeah.
There's a great value in that. So the medical initiatives one, they're so important for the Big Ten, but 2, important for us. What I love the most about this, though, is it just shows the Nebraska fans that are engaged, maybe more engaged than any other fan base in everything that we do inside this league.
Fantastic. Brandon, congratulations on a great start to the school year. Let's keep this thing rolling.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Brandon Meyer with us here on our Athletic Director Show for the month. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for the next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse, the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. More with Troy Dannon coming up next.
Out here, we raise stronger people, stronger crops, and we proudly raise our flag to that. Let the weather, pests, and pressures try to beat us down. We only keep growing up. With the next-gen genetics, the pure acre-for-acre know-how of these soils, and a deep pride of our roots, we're born to raise at Hogemeyer. Learn more at therightseed.com.
Husker fans, it's game day, and Pizza Hut's got your perfect play. Score the Game Day Special for just $29.99. Get 2 medium 3-topping pizzas, 8 boneless wings, and 5 breadsticks. Enough to feed 800 fans. Pizza, wings, breadsticks, and more. It's the ultimate lineup to fuel your game day. Check out the full menu online at pizzahut.com or in store. Because remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Life doesn't come with guarantees, but working with Rob Seco comes pretty close. Our strategic investments in the seed we offer are designed to directly improve your bottom line. From full trait platforms, breeding and development, to field-by-field planning and seed-driven crop inputs, with Rob Seco, you have precisely what you need to improve plant performance and increase yield. Every farm, every crop, and every acre. Learn more at robseco.com.
Sunday morning. You can smell it. Game day. And the brisket you've been smoking since last night. A day to be with family, aka fellow football fans. Traditions make Sundays easy to enjoy. Beers do too. Bud Light. Easy to Sunday, easy to enjoy. Bud Light is the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
On game day, every play counts. Now imagine having the same level of control in your field. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Real-time, play-by-play control means you're always ahead of the game. Score big with simplified irrigation technology from Valley, improving your life both on and off the field. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear Truckin' Awesome. Want more horsepower in the stable? The Tundra iForce Max is the most powerful Tundra ever. With its electrifying twin-turbo V6, you got everything you need. Saddle up the Tacoma TRD Pro. Its segment-first performance seats are designed to smooth out the shocks when the ride gets bumpy. The Toyota 4Runner is part mean streak, part wild side, and an all-around icon. Check out that signature power rear window, will ya? Yes, sir, Toyota trucks. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Noddle Companies proudly supports the Huskers Radio Network. As a full-service leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Noddle Hospitality's latest venture in Exarban Village, and the contemporary living of row house townhomes on Leavenworth. We're welcoming world-class concepts from men's fashion and great eats to gorgeous homes and green spaces, all professionally managed by Noddle Services. These are the Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
Husker fans, visit a participating AGCO dealer now until November 1st and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets and pregame hospitality passes to the Nebraska versus Wisconsin football game on November 23rd in Lincoln. See your True Turf and Ag locations in Osmond, Columbus, and Falls City, Osceola Implement, and Kearney Equipment to enter for your chance to win this season.
This fall, be ready for every tailgate, touchdown, and adventure in a perfect car, truck, or SUV from Sid Dillon Chevrolet. Visit us in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo and shop Nebraska's #1 volume Chevy dealer group. We're also your Chevrolet Business Elite dealer, offering medium-duty trucks and low-cab forwards. Visit us at SidDillonChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
Out here, we raise stronger people, stronger crops, and we proudly raise our flag to that. Let the weather, pests, and pressures try to beat us down. We only keep growing up. With the next-gen genetics, the pure acre-for-acre know-how of these soils, and a deep pride of our roots, we are born to raise at Hogemeyer. Learn more at therightseed.com.
Folks, Cox Mobile is hosting a Huskers Hangout, Omaha's official watch party this Saturday at Smash Park in La Vista, with kickoff at 11 on Fox for the big noon game. The event open to the public of all ages. They'd love to have you out there. The Husker Hangout presented by Cox Mobile this Saturday at Smash Park in La Vista. If you want more information, go to huskers.com/hangout. We're back with our athletic director show. Troy Dana with us for a few more minutes here tonight. Another thing that happened since your last show was your first Hall of Fame ceremony to go through, adding members to the Athletic Department Hall of Fame. Great class. Headline, I would guess, by the big fellow in Ndamukong Suh.
Yeah, it was kind of a wild moment for me because those names are like
Jordan
you
Hooper
recognize those names, right? And you know, it was my first chance to get to meet all of them. And Ndamukong, you know, I said this to everybody. I think he's the greatest defensive player that's ever played the game in college football. And to get to spend some time with him, and you know, his comment to me was, I want to be engaged, I want to be involved, let me know how. You know, so that I appreciate, because we're better when we can attach ourselves to guys like him, and I want guys like him to attach themselves to our program and the stuff that Will Compton's doing. Our alums are doing such great things in the world and have such big reputations. So those relationships are important. But it was a nice ceremony. It was and Dominican, I'm sure his kids know, but he's got the little twin boys running around and it's like, I wonder if they kind of get how big of a deal Dad was. But to see him coming out of the tunnel walk, is a pretty special thing. And I know this, he talked to the team on Friday night, and you got to see, we've got defensive linemen that are pretty special. They're going to play in the league, but there's the guy that for what they do. This is the guy, and he's theirs and he's ours, and it was a pretty neat experience for the whole weekend.
And the fans love him. Sue, those big Sue cheers were going out, so that was fun. So I'm glad you had a chance to enjoy that. That has been a who's who of Husker Athletics. It didn't start till about 10 years ago, so we've got some ways to go.
Yeah, that shocked me. With the history here and the legacy here that we didn't do it before then, and so you start looking at other names like who might be next, and you go, holy cow, how is that person not already in Hall of Fame? So that's going to be an incredible ceremony for years to come.
Yeah. So fun time, and great to have all those classic, unbelievable Husker athletes back on campus. Okay, we went a little long in the last segment, so I need to get to a break. I've got some other things to talk to you about. I know there's been some Big Ten SEC meetings that have taken place recently. I want to get your thoughts on that. We'll do that coming up next.
Find your next luxury vehicle when you shop with Woodhouse Cadillac. Browse our selection of the newest Cadillac models, equipped with luxurious designs and technology that transforms your driving experience. Lease the spacious 2024 Cadillac XT6 for $579 a month for 39 months and 10,000 miles per year. Take advantage of current offers going on now in store or online at WoodhouseCadillac.com. With approved credit, must have current Cadillac financial lease to qualify. First payment and $299 doc fee due at signing. Retired courtesy motor vehicle. Offer expires 10/31/24. See dealer for details.
Husker fans, visit a participating AGCO dealer now until November 1st and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets and pregame hospitality passes to the Nebraska versus Wisconsin football game on November 23rd in Lincoln. See your True Turf and Ag locations in Osmond, Columbus, and Falls City, Osceola Implement, and Kearney Equipment to enter for your chance to win this season.
Preparation is the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pregame routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
When you're in the stands and have the ability to control your irrigation in the field, it's a game-changing moment. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Experience real-time, play-by-play action and control that keeps you ahead. Score big with irrigation technology from Valley. It's technology that improves your life and lets you be at the game and in the game. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks, making them America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. Introducing the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the 2024 North American Truck of the Year. This is the next generation of built Ford tough.
Get a 2024 Ford Super Duty for 1.9% with Ford credit financing, or get $2,000 bonus cash only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Cyber threats are everywhere. When is the last time you stopped to think about how you're protecting your business from potential data breaches, phishing scams, or ransomware? It's time to make cybersecurity a priority for your business. At Hamilton, our unmatched expertise and cutting-edge technology goes beyond basic defense, providing proactive, tailored solutions that keep your data, network, and digital assets protected. Better protection, better cybersecurity with Hamilton. Visit our website at hamiltonisbusiness.com to learn more.
Welcome back to our Athletic Director Show for the month of October, brought to you by our good friends at Woodhouse. Troy Dana with us for a couple of more minutes on our text line. Troy, any way to renovate South Stadium and not lose 15 to 20,000 seats? Any worries about how this is going to affect the loud home field advantage that we currently have at Memorial Stadium? Where are we at?
Yeah, so right now, design, both a financial plan design and the stadium design. Really not starting over again, but modifying what we had. My guess is, and my hope, my expectation is that first quarter of 25, that we'll be out public with exactly what the timeline is, what the stadium looks like, what exactly the renovations do. I do know this, we have Tennessee in 26 at home. I don't want to compromise the capacity for that season. 27, right now we're not scheduled to have a P4 at home, so we may. If we can't get it all done, we may have some limitations of capacity until we get back to full capacity, the following year. That's kind of the way I see it playing out. When you put chair backs in, the chair backs are 21 inches, the bleachers are 19. Yeah. So you're just going to lose seats no matter what you do, as long as you put chair backs in. We're planning to put chair backs in. But I do not think, if the design is right, the enclosed field that we feel right now, that south end, will feel even more enclosed and more bowled in. In a perfect world, we'll have a scoreboard that will sit on top, basically wrap around most of that south end. So I think it will feel intimate, as loud as it does now, if not more so.
Good. I mentioned, I teased this going to the break. There was a lot of attention about a Big Ten SEC meeting. What can you share with our audience, and where are we kind of headed with this?
Well, I think, from a public standpoint, it was a lot of ado. In reality, it was about nothing. But, if people knew how many times we met, Big Ten meets every week, if not, mostly via Zoom. But I think it was good because the two leagues have, as we get into this new world of college athletics, we have a lot of, I would say, shared space. How do we navigate the new world? What do the scheduling models look like? How does the house settlement play out? There's a lot of things we need that we can discuss amongst one another. So I think it was very productive from that standpoint. I think it may be unprecedented that meeting's happened. But look, a lot of the SEC ADs, a lot of the Big Ten ADs happen to meet at Lead One, or we meet at other meetings. So it's not like this is the first time we've ever met one another. And I'm sure it'll continue. We'll have more of those meetings in the future.
How much confidence do you have in the commissioner?
I think Commissioner's a superstar, and he's pragmatic. He's aggressive. He does not see any walls that we can't climb over and around. I think coming from his experience in Major League Baseball, I think understanding the hybrid labor situation that we're in and what might lie ahead. He's got experiences with salary cap. So he brings a lot of assets to the room. Sometimes we all wish commissioners were AD, so what's going on our campus. We really need the skill set that Tony's got right now. I'm thrilled. I just love his aggression and his passion, his enthusiasm.
Good. Well, good start. Let's keep this rolling. Good luck Saturday in Bloomington. Let's go get win number 6.
Well, it would be a nice way to continue the month of October. Volleyball's on the road. I think they've been at home a lot, but they're on the road. I think 5 of the next 7. So, we're gonna. By the time we see a lot of volleyball, we're going to be coming up on the end of that season as well. But a lot of things to watch, a lot of things to follow, and a lot of things to be enthusiastic about right now for the Huskers.
Next time you're here, we'll be talking about more basketball too.
I look forward to it. Thanks.
Troy Dana with us, our monthly athletic director show. Hour 1 of Sports Nightly in the books. Jessica will join me for hour 2. So don't go away. Come on back.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Last season was a banner year for the Huskers, winning 5 Big Ten titles. Nebraska also finished in the top 25 in the Directors' Cup standings. Beardmore Subaru congratulates Husker Athletics and Nebraska student athletes for all their achievements and stands behind you again this season. Go Big Red! Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue has the all-new 2025 Subaru Forester, the same trusted SUV it's always been, only more so. Love begins with trust.
On game day, every play counts. Now imagine having the same level of control in your field. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Real-time, play-by-play control means you're always ahead of the game. Score big with simplified irrigation technology from Valley, improving your life both on and off the field. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
Husker fans, it's game day, and Pizza Hut's got your perfect play. Score the game day special for just $29.99. Get 2 medium 3-topping pizzas, 8 boneless wings, and 5 breadsticks. Enough to feed 8 hungry fans. Pizza, wings, breadsticks, and more. It's the ultimate lineup to fuel your game day. Check out the full menu online at pizzahut.com or in store. Because remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Shop Woodhouse Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram during Jeep Adventure Days. Lease the 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo for just $369 per month. Visit us in Blair or Bellevue or online anytime. Your trusted Jeep dealer since 1991. This is Woodhouse. 39 months, 10,000 miles per year with approved credit. Tax, title, license extra. For well-qualified returning lease customers, $1,999 down plus first payment and $299 doc fee due at signing. Stock number C241093. Offer expires 10/31/2024. See dealer for details.
Good evening, I'm Camden Cohn, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services. Earlier today, head coach Matt Rule spoke with the media one final time before this weekend's game with Indiana. One of the topics he spoke about was the message to the team before the game.
What I just said, focus on us. We can't control the other team. It's the same message I said at UNI, the same message I said at UTEP, the same message I say every week. The team that plays the best wins. It's not the team with the best roster. It's not the team with the best record. It's not the team who won last week. It's not the team that has the better music in the locker room. Just the team that plays better wins. So have a good week of preparation. Just be in the moment, one snap at a time. Don't worry about the scoreboard, and go play. And what I respect so much about this team that we're facing is, I think they've outscored opponents in the fourth quarter 80-17. That's a team that's, they're one-score ball games that they pull away from because they stay in the moment. But that's because they got that's a veteran team, a bunch of guys who've won a lot of football, and they know what it takes. And so I think our guys have gutted out 2 straight wins. They've had some big moments. They took a tough loss. They learned from that. And so we're just going to focus on us and just go out there and just play.
Nebraska soccer is in action tonight at home against Oregon. The match is just about to start and can be watched on Big Ten Plus. There are 2 more Major League Baseball playoff games today. Currently, the Yankees lead the Guardians 4-3 in the 8th. The Yankees lead that series 2-0. And in just a few minutes, the Dodgers will take on the Mets. The Dodgers lead the series 2-1. And finally, Week 7 of the NFL season kicks off tonight as the Saints host the Broncos. That game will start in about 10 minutes on Amazon Prime. Our sports ticker is brought to you by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services. Call a timeout. If you or someone you know is struggling or in crisis, the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is there. Call, text, or chat 988. It's free, confidential, and staffed with trained counselors ready to listen and provide support. Hour 2 of Sports Nightly is up next, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
They are bunched up around the line of scrimmage. Hand off to Dell. Dell off the right side. Touchdown, Nebraska. Dante Dowdell finds Pater. 6-0 Big Red. Let those balloons loose. 4th and 10 from the 26. Shotgun for Kaliak Menace. Gets the belt high snap. Has some time. Gets hit. Goes down. Huskers will take over on downs. James Williams again gets home.
Bump set to the left side, and Hudson swings. There's Lexi with another dig. Huskers the slide. Jackson needs it. Off the tee it out. Nebraska's second lead, set 5. It's 13-15. 13-12, Nebraska. Devaney Delirium. Bergen sends it to the back middle. Great pass again by Hudson. Outside set. Chloe Chicoine tipping, and there's Bergen. Huskers have it. 16-15 in the 5th. Right side. Barret. She got it. Point Big Red. Call the grandkids. Nebraska takes down Purdue. 17-15. Set number 5. And they love it in Lincoln.
Now, here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
And we're back. It's our final hour of the night. By golly, our final hour of the week. We will not have a show tomorrow. Husker volleyball with a weird start time, 5 o'clock in there in the East Coast time, playing Michigan State. So it's going to be happy hour with JB. Is that okay to say that? Happy hour JB on a Friday afternoon, right?
Yeah. Where else would you want to spend your happy hour than with JB and Lauren?
I can't think of anything better. So they'll be on the air at 4, first serve at 5. So no show for us tomorrow night. What a fun hour. I really enjoy listening to Troy Dannon. There's a humbleness about him. He's just kind of a real normal guy.
He really is. And you could just tell he's got his pulse on a lot of things that are important across the landscape of college football. And he's been, we've talked about that since he got here, just that he's been so involved with different committees and all of that. And so he knows so many people that he's got a really good knowledge of all the goings on, and there's a lot of it going on right now. And so he's in the know. He's making sure that, what's needed for Nebraska is being heard. And so, he's got a lot of knowledge up there. And then I also like, too, that how he brings on the people that each week when he's here, so we can hear about some of the other kind of different areas that are going on and some of the people that are important to him, and because he can't do it all, right? So he relies on people to help him navigate and run, the day-to-day operations of Nebraska Athletics. And so I've really enjoyed that segment too, of hearing kind of the other different avenues that are going on here in the athletics department.
Brandon was this month, Matt Davidson was last month. That's their expertise. They can talk about security issues or drone shows much more detailed than Troy, because Troy can't wrap his arm around all
Wasn't
that.
Dennis on? And Dennis LeBlanc has been on?
Dennis LeBlanc's been
Yeah.
on. We talked to academics. So, I mean, that's what their specialty is. So hear from the people that do that. So I hope folks are enjoying those conversations.
Well, and with the, the drone stuff and all of that, like we've had a lot of people that have been excited about that. And we had 4 home games right there at the back-to-back-to-back. And so people, I know were like to hear about that, but they just do such a great job. And, the ideas, since I got in here, you hear, and even before I got here, you hear about, Nebraska had the first, like Husker Vision was the first of its kind, and a lot of things that were groundbreaking here. And there are a lot of folks, when we travel as an athletics department, a lot of times the guys that are on, whether it be marketing, Brandon, Husker Vision, they take notes of some of the things that they see at other places. So you better believe that when teams come to Nebraska, they are like, okay, we got to do this, we got to try to get this. Like, so, I can say firsthand at Oklahoma, they copied a lot of things that Nebraska did. So I guarantee you that, the stuff that they're doing here is trying to be replicated at other places.
Well, and you can get stuff from other schools. We always come back and go, hey, Wisconsin does this that we liked, or whatever the case may be. I was at that Chiefs game a few weeks ago, and I was looking around going, that'd be something
cool,
we could do at Nebraska.
I mean, it's what happens. I mean, everybody does it, but it's like what will go over well at Nebraska, what works well with what we have going on. And it's always, I mean, Troy says it a lot. I mean, it's a show. Yes, it's a game, and the football team wants to win the game. But outside of the game, what's on the lines, it's a show. It's a production. There's a lot that goes into it, and you want to be able to put on a good show, and certainly Nebraska puts on, I think, the best show in college.
Pretty cool. And at different places, we talked about how interesting volleyball's pregame is compared to most places. PBA, they do a wonderful job getting those set up for the men's and women's games. It's a real cool deal, and it adds to the atmosphere. It adds to the players, the athletes love it.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, even so, yesterday I sat down with Allison Weiner, and she was saying that they were about to go to all their Husker Vision video shoots, and like a lot of those are funny, and
fans love seeing those little vignettes.
they have, and so the Husker Vision crew does a lot of research. Okay, some of the trending things that's going on social media, but just a lot of really creative folks, and you just think, sometimes you're like, how does that get done? But then you realize when you hear some of these conversations just how much goes into getting all of it executed from all the different kind of layers that go into putting on any sporting event, but especially a football game.
Matt Rule met with the media today. Camden had a clip for you. Tommy Hill's maybe the only game time decision. We felt like both at Purdue and Rutgers he was going to play, and then he didn't. It's just more of a pain tolerance type thing with him. Tristan Alvano will not travel, so John Ho will be the kicker. Other than that, I don't know there was a lot of newsy stuff. I just know this team is anxious for this opportunity to go play a ranked team on the road.
With Tommy, though, Tommy went through all the pregame warm-ups, and then he did not do any of the team aspect of the warm-ups. Yeah, at Purdue. At Purdue. Rutgers, he ran out there and was with the starters. And we heard Coach Rule say that when he was running out of the tunnel during the tunnel walk, he ruptured it or whatever. And so he was good to go until.
Yeah.
But that's the problem with that kind of injury. I guess it can, at any point, you can not feel right. And I think that was maybe the case at Purdue. He went through all the warm-ups and then nope, he just doesn't feel right. So he never had his helmet at Purdue. And so I kind of had a feeling he was not going to play, but then when we got back home and against Rutgers, it looked like he was going to play. It was when through warm-ups, everything was normal, and then all of a sudden they came back out, and then he never had his helmet again. So something that obviously it had happened between warm-ups, and we've come to find out it was during the tunnel walk.
We could use him this week.
Yep.
With all the weapons that Indiana's offense has there. I'm ready to do some picks.
Let's do it.
All right. Hey, Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. The big dog is feeling his oats. Does he have a right to? We're about to find out. We'll do our picks next.
It's time again for some Nebraska Farm Facts. For Nebraska soybean farmers, sustainability is a way of life. 97% of farms are family-owned, and 95% are participating in conservation programs and using sustainable practices. And they have significant sustainability goals by 2025. 10% more energy efficiency, 10% less land, and 25% less soil erosion. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
In the game of life, we all face tough moments. Sometimes it feels like we're up against a formidable defense with no way through. Call a timeout. If you or someone you know is struggling or in crisis, the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is there. Call, text, or chat 988. It's free, confidential, and staffed with trained counselors ready to listen and provide support. Don't wait for the final whistle. Reach out, speak up, and let's tackle this together. Because in Nebraska, we're more than a team. We're family. Remember, in times of need, call, text, or chat 988. Presented by Nebraska DHHS.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the propane tank on your grill first, before hosting a tailgate.
Let's fire up. Here, let me try. Seriously? You didn't check the propane? Who wants chips?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Salt and vinegar?
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
It's time to review the top 3 highlights of the day. I'm joined as always by my co-anchor, Snoop.
Hey, what up, though?
Snoop, number 1 has to be getting the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence at T-Mobile.
Yeah, you should hustle down at T-Mobile like a dog chasing a squirrel, chasing a nut.
Nice analogy, Snoop. Dogs do love to chase squirrels.
And squirrels love to chase those nuts.
On to highlight number 2, at T-Mobile, families can save 20% every month versus the other big guys.
That is very impressive. You know, y'all can take some of those savings and buy some Snoop merchandise.
That's exactly what I'm planning on doing with my savings, Snoop. Now, take it away, Snoop.
Head to T-Mobile.com and get the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on them. Now drop that jingle.
The 24-monthly upgrade is eligible traded on Go 5G Next. Well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 connection charge. Cancel entire account before receiving 24 bill credits and credit stop and balance on required finance agreement too. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See how you can save versus the other big guys at T-Mobile.com/switch. Apple Intelligence coming fall 2024.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks, making them America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. Introducing the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the 2024 North American Truck of the Year. This is the next generation of built Ford tough.
Get a 2024 Ford Super Duty for 1.9% with Ford credit financing, or get $2,000 bonus cash only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Imagine a world where your office IT runs smoothly, securely, and effortlessly. A day where you aren't worried about the next outage or password compromise. At Hamilton, we take care of everything from monitoring and maintenance to security and support. We partner with your business to design integrated technology solutions that fit your needs now and your goals for the future. With on-site and remote IT support options, we're always just a call or click away. Elevate your IT with Hamilton Managed IT. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Last season was a banner year for the Huskers, winning 5 Big Ten titles. Nebraska also finished in the top 25 in the Directors' Cup standings. Beardmore Subaru congratulates Husker Athletics and Nebraska student athletes for all their achievements and stands behind you again this season. Go Big Red! Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue has the all-new 2025 Subaru Forester, the same trusted SUV it's always been, only more so. Love begins with trust.
When you're in the stands and have the ability to control your irrigation in the field, it's a game-changing moment. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Experience real-time, play-by-play action and control that keeps you ahead. Score big with irrigation technology from Valley. It's technology that improves your life and lets you be at the game and in the game. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
Husker fans, it's game day, and Pizza Hut's got your perfect play. Score the game day special for just $29.99. Get 2 medium 3-topping pizzas, 8 boneless wings, and 5 breadsticks. Enough to feed 8 hungry fans. Pizza, wings, breadsticks, and more. It's the ultimate lineup to fuel your game day. Check out the full menu online at pizzahut.com or in store. Because remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Let Woodhouse Chevy help you find the perfect vehicle to fit your lifestyle. From road trip adventures in a spacious SUV to tackling the toughest jobs in a powerful truck, our friendly and knowledgeable staff can help you find your next vehicle and take advantage of our current offers going on now. Woodhouse Chevy brings you 2 convenient locations in Omaha and Missouri Valley. Woodhouse Chevy. Together, let's drive.
Inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Akrs. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs solutions for every field. I'm feeling like doing some picks. How about you?
Well, I am, but if we could just skip over how the results were last week, that'd be ideal.
That's not how it works.
The recap's the best part, Jess. The recap's the best part, especially when everyone loves a comeback story.
I was about to say, the recap's the best part when you only say that on certain weeks, and it's only happened like once, so.
Hey, go 1-0 this week, Jess. Listen to Matt Rule.
Well, let's do our review in our Choices Treatment Center segment here on Sports Night. Washington, Iowa. We were split on this one, Jess. You and I and the students thought the Huskies could go to Kinnick and win. Jeremiah and Josh said, no, sir, and the Hawkeyes were impressive. So good job, Jeremiah and Josh. You guys nailed that one.
That was as belt to behind as it could possibly be. And that was, I mean, just initially you're like, okay, and then I don't know what happened. Iowa flipped a switch and just let it go.
Sure did. Wisconsin, Rutgers. The students and I were pretty bullish on the Badgers. They took the Scarlet Knights to the woodshed. So two of us got wins on that game. So again, we were split on that one. USC, Penn State. Jeremiah prematurely said, Greg, you nailed this one. I thought Penn State would be sleepy, but boy, Jeremiah, to their credit, they came back and won. I was the only one on the USC side of this thing, an overtime win by Penn State.
Yeah, I mean, you look at what that game looked like in the back and forth going through, and USC is still just such a streaky team, and Penn State eventually, I think, just out-physicaled. Right at the end of the game, they kind of just bullied them a little bit more than USC did.
Missed field goal, too.
Yeah.
ISC.
Yeah.
Don't even, I get PTSD when I think about missed field goals.
Yeah. Ohio State, Oregon. Josh, congratulations. Josh was the only one on the Ducks.
Lucky.
Good job.
I totally lucky on that one, but I kind of wanted to just throw that out there because I knew I needed to make up a point. It felt like sort of a toss-up game, so I got lucky, I'll admit it.
What a great game, right? Great game.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I was in Nashville, but I was paying close attention to that one because it was just electric, and so I was watching on my phone. I wish I could have been watching somewhere where I could actually take it all in, but Josh got fortunate that the rule change didn't happen last week is how that went.
Yep. I was watching it at the wedding in the back, and everyone's like, Jeremiah, why aren't you dancing? You always dance. And I pulled up my phone. I was like, do you know what's going on right now? Like, I've had this game circled for months. Like, I'm not doing the cha-cha slide or any of that right now. Like, Oregon's got the ball. It's 3rd and 8. Leave me alone.
All right, Minnesota at UCLA. I was sensing a Bruin win, and they led for most of the game, but the Gophers with a last-minute touchdown pull out a road win at the Rose Bowl. You all got it right. I was on the downside of that one, so my gamble there did not pay off. You
had some crazy picks for you last week.
I did.
Are you going to go with the same strategy this week?
Some paid off, though. Wisconsin,
they
I was
did.
the only one there.
They did. Yeah. Wisconsin got one.
And I thought I had USC.
Yeah,
so.
The antidote of confidence is just must be a 2-week thing.
Yeah. All right, LSU, Ole Miss, another terrific game in the SEC, goes overtime. Josh, you and I had the Baton Rouge Tigers, so we get that one right.
And again, that one was maybe a little bit lucky. Like, I was watching that game as it came down to the wire late, too, and I never felt 100% confident they were going to pull it out, but they managed to do it.
Dad, I'm sorry I didn't listen to you.
There's wise advice out there.
Never go against LSU at night in the swamp, and I did. Not the swamp, the Baton Rouge. Game. I knew it. I had that advice, and then I did not listen to it, and here we go. It bit me again. This is like the 3rd time I've not taken that advice, and it did not pay off for me.
There was a lot of NFL talent on that field.
Oh boy,
that game was loaded with guys that are going to be playing on Sunday next week.
High level stuff there. West Virginia, Iowa State. Are we ready to say Iowa State's for real? Jeremiah, you, Josh, and the students all went Cyclones. You all got that one right. They kind of ran away from the Mountaineers.
Yeah, I'm looking at them going playoff spot.
Yeah,
Big 12 champion. Like, they have all the tools put in place, and they are playing such sound. They're well coached. I mean, that team is the team to beat in the Big 12 right now, in my opinion.
I think you're right.
Finally, at 7-8 weeks, they're finally making some noise, and they've just quietly done it.
Yep.
I mean, they were not the favorite going into it, and they just keep chipping away, and now here they are. They're on people's radar.
So maybe Iowa's loss on a 54-yard last-second field goal doesn't look so bad to them.
Yeah.
The way the Cyclones are playing. Boy, I was up till 1 a.m. watching the end of the K-State-Colorado game. Jess, you and Jeremiah and I all got that right. Josh and the students went Colorado, but the Wildcats prevailed, so we picked up a point there.
Yes, and I almost went Colorado. I'm glad I didn't, but and I think that's where Colorado's going to also have trouble with Iowa State, just because of the physicality, and that you knew that ultimately was going to probably play a factor, and it did in this one.
Jeremiah,
I couldn't stay up. East Coast football's terrible.
It's bad.
It didn't kick off till 10:15.
Yeah, really.
Like, I was like, oh my gosh, it's halftime and it's 12:30.
Yeah.
Like, I'm too old for this.
Right. None of us have a handle on Northwestern because we went over in the Maryland game. They go on the road and just hammer the Terps. Jeremiah, if I pick them, they lose. If I don't pick them, they win. It's just crazy with Northwestern.
I called it last week. I was like, I'm going to take the Terps, but Northwestern probably finds a way to win. And, the more I watch Northwestern, the more I'm looking going, man, they're not bad. And Indiana kind of handled them fairly well. That everyone was saying Maryland was Indiana's best win. Well, now Northwestern's Indiana's best win, and Northwestern's doesn't look like they're kind of the doormat to the Big Ten anymore.
Right. We all got the Texas-Oklahoma game right. Pretty easy win for the Longhorns. So for the week, congratulations, Josh, 7-3. Jeremiah goes 6-4. The students go 5-5, and Jess, you and I go 4-6.
Yeah, that was not a great week. We got to get a bounce-back performance here.
So the students still lead by 3 games over Josh, you and me. Jeremiah is coming up 46-30, so you made up some ground. You've made up some ground the last 2 weeks, so you've turned the tide midseason here, Jeremiah.
Just rounding into midseason form.
Are you ready to say you turn the tide up for 2 weeks?
Hey. I'm 2-0. I'm 1-0 each week. That's all you can count, Jess. I'm just going week by week.
You lost to Josh last week.
Goldfish brain.
That's where Sterling.
But I beat you two. I beat you two. Listen, Josh, I love you, Josh.
He beats me.
I love you, Josh. I love you, the students. I just really want to beat Greg and Jess. That's my whole goal.
What's crazy is he'd be fine with getting 3rd place.
Yeah,
100%. As long as we got 4th and 5th.
Yeah.
Yes.
Crazy.
It's a fact.
Who's running a marathon this weekend? Anybody?
I am.
Oh.
The Des Moines Marathon. How about that? Josh is heading over there after our game day production on Saturday to go run 26 miles.
Oh, no big deal. Just 26 miles. You ready, Josh?
I think so. I've been training hard, so
you got a goal. We'll see how it goes. You got a goal in mind?
Yes, but probably not going to say it out loud.
Yeah,
so.
okay, that's smart. That's smart.
Finish, right?
Yes,
the goal
exactly.
is to finish.
Yes, get across.
Well, good luck. We'll be tracking you on the tracker on Sunday. All right, let's get into this week's Choices Treatment Center picks. We'll start Big Ten, Wisconsin and Northwestern. Badgers favored by 7. Interesting. Talked to Louis Becker in our Blitz the other night. Since 1986, the series is 17-16 Badgers. It's that close with Northwestern and Wisconsin. But Wisconsin seems to play well in Evanston. I think they're playing better. I got the Badgers in this game, Jess.
Yeah, I've got Wisconsin too. I mean, I picked against them last week, and I know we keep saying Northwestern, but I still do not believe in them. So it's like every other week. So I'm not going with Northwestern. I'm going to stick with Wisconsin in this one.
Yeah, it's hard for me to pick Northwestern with just not knowing what they are, or what team's going to show up every week. Wisconsin's been more consistent in the last couple weeks, so on with the Badgers, jump around.
Yeah, we just get done saying that Northwestern's figured it out, but so is Wisconsin. It seems like they've been playing well. So, yeah, give me the Badgers, too.
All right, students are with the Badgers, so it's a clean sweep with Wisconsin, again, favored by 7. UCLA at Rutgers. Rutgers was bad last week. Can they rally against a team that has not won a game yet in the league? Has to fly across country. I'm surprised the line, Jess, is only 4.5.
I mean, Rutgers was awful last week. Man. I was kind of, again, checking in on that game. I texted you guys. Has Rutgers even had the ball?
They're better.
Their offense did not look good at all. I feel like as much as UCLA has not, they haven't won a game, they've started, I think, figured some things out. You brought that up last week. They looked a little bit better. Had a chance last week. So I think they get it done this week. I'm going to go with them just because I cannot get how bad Rutgers looked last week.
You're going UCLA.
I'm going UCLA. I think I'm going to try to roll the dice here on this one.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Rutgers here strictly because the time change. Going to the East Coast is tough. It's a hard thing to do, and you're talking about a noon kickoff, or I think it's a noon kickoff Eastern time. Yeah. So that's like them kicking off at like 8 a.m. Like, I think it's just going to be a little bit too much of the time change, so I'm going to go Scarlet Knights with the bounce back.
Yeah, UCLA has been a tough out for a lot of teams this season. It's not like they've been awful in most of their games, so it seems like maybe the right time to go with the Bruins, but I'm not going to. Like Jeremiah said, long road trip not going to help them here. I think the Scarlet Knights bounce back with a win.
Yeah, and that early start. Students are with Rutgers. I am as well, so Jess, you're swimming upstream in this one. All right, Michigan and Illinois. It's a battle of ranked teams in Champaign. It's sold out in Champaign. It's the 2:30 game on CBS. Jeremiah, what do you make of this matchup?
Man, this one was one of my tougher picks of the week, and knowing that I had to pick first also made it tougher. But I'm going to go with the home team. I'm going to go with the Fighting Illini here to knock off Michigan because they have not looked impressive. I think they have a lot more questions than answers in that program right now. They're coming off the bye, so that might bite me. But I'm going to go with Illinois.
Yeah, toss-up game here for me. I don't feel great about picking either team, but I obviously have to pick one, so I'll go with Michigan.
Students go Illinois, so we're split. I just think Michigan still has more talent up and down the lines. I think that they bounced back. They had a bye week last week to kind of clear their head a little bit. Give me the Wolverines. I'm kind of like Josh, though. I don't feel great on this pick.
Yeah, again, another kind of team. What is Michigan going to look like? And I don't know, but I'm still with you. I still think they probably have more talent, and so I've got Michigan.
I love it. We're split and divided in that one. All right, the night game, Iowa at Michigan State. Hawkeyes favored by 5. Josh, how do you see this one?
Well, Iowa is just, to me, it seems like they're on their way to another typical season for them. They lost a bad game early and had another loss in there, but they're going to march on toward another 9, maybe 10-win season. So I think this is just another notch in their belt where they get a ugly Big Ten win here. So I think they go on the road and beat the Spartans.
Yeah, students are with you, and I think Iowa's finding some rhythm offensively. Johnson is tearing it up in the ground game. I think Tim Lester has settled in as OC there. Give me the Hawkeyes. I think they win on the road.
I mean, Cade McNamara is just letting it fly now these days, He got his first touchdown pass against a Power 5 school for the first time since 2021.
Crazy.
So I think he's going to build off of that. I've also got Iowa.
Yeah, I'm not betting against Iowa against a first-year coach at Michigan State, so go Hawks.
Go Hawks. All right. We're all 5 in that category. All right, let's go to the SEC. Alabama, Tennessee, Bama on the road, favored by 3. The students like Bama. Tennessee has been hard to figure the last couple of games, but I like their defense. I like how I think they stand up and beat Bama at home. I think Tennessee pulls off a win over the Crimson Tide.
This one was a hard one for me, just because you don't expect Bama to have, multiple losses, but Tennessee has looked good. I go back and forth. They've got a lot of confidence. Tennessee believes they can beat Bama. A lot of times Bama wins by walking on. But I think Bama figures it out. I think they get a win.
Man, Bama's been battle tested the last 2 weeks. I think that's going to wear them out a little bit. Going from Vandy, they go into South Carolina, barely pull one out there. Tennessee's going to be really upset with their performance last week. Rocky Top's going to be rocking. I'm going with the Bulls.
Woo! Okay, Josh.
Yeah, this one was hard for me too. Neither team comes in with a ton of momentum, even though they both won last week. I'm going to go with the home team here. I know that DeBoer, he usually figures it out for these big games, but I don't know. For some reason, I'm feeling like it's going to be Tennessee.
All right, so we're split. We got a couple of Alabamas, 3 Tennessees. I like that, so it's going to be fun. All right, South Carolina and Oklahoma. Sooners favored by 1.5 back home. I know we've kind of been kicking dirt in the Sooners' eyes and face, but Jess, I think they'll play good enough defense and find enough offense to hold off the Gamecocks and get a much-needed win. I'll go Sooners in this one.
I said that Tennessee-Bama was one of the toughest. This was the toughest for me, just because, I mean, Oklahoma's offense is not good at all. But, Greg, you and I spent some time talking about Oklahoma and their schedule from here on out. I mean, they might be lucky to win 2 more games. And this is one of those potential games that they can win at home, Shane Beamer was at Oklahoma for a while. I really want to go South Carolina, but I think I'm going to go with Oklahoma because I just think this is just such a big, must-needed win for them when you look at the rest of their schedule.
South Carolina's been knocking on the door of getting some big wins lately, and they just haven't been able to get it over the hump. They get it over the hump this week in Norman. Give me South Carolina.
Yeah, I think that last week's loss to Texas beats the Sooners twice. I'm going to go with the Gamecocks, too.
Wow. The students agree, so it's 3-2 in the Oklahoma-South Carolina matchup. All right, Jess, let's stay in the SEC, the game of the week. In college football, Georgia at Texas. Longhorns favored by 5 at home. Does Georgia get a second loss in the regular season?
No, they do not. That number 1 ranking has haunted some people. I think it knocks off Texas this week. I think Georgia goes in and gets a win.
If Archie Manning was starting, I would very confidently say Texas. Quinn Ewers did not look impressive last week. They won on the ground last week, just running through the Oklahoma defense like Swiss cheese, man. There's holes all over that. Georgia's a different animal, though. That defense is tough. It's going to be on the back of Quinn Ewers to win this game. I think I'm going to go Georgia as well.
I'm going to go Texas. It's hard for me to pick against the Longhorns with how they're playing right now. They just seem like watching them play, they pass the eye test. And then obviously the resume of just looking at them on paper too. It seems like they've been ticking all the boxes. So I'll go Texas.
Students go Georgia. I'm with Josh. I think Texas hook them. I think they give Georgia. Georgia to me has just been pretty sporadic. A lot of those top teams in that SEC have not been real consistent week in and week out. You don't hear that from the talking heads at ESPN. But I think the only one that's looked really consistent to me has been the Longhorns. So I'll go Texas. I love it. We're divided on that.
It still sounds weird. The only team that's been consistent in the SEC has been Texas.
Right. And they're usually the ones that are like this, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. And then they're in the SEC. That's crazy.
Yeah. All right, Jeremiah, LSU at Arkansas. I love putting Arkansas on these things because they're really unpredictable.
And Searles loves Arkansas.
LSU favorite on the road by 2, though.
Yeah, I think I have to go with LSU. You know, they battle tested again last week. It was a high emotional win. Arkansas has been way too inconsistent for me to pick them, so go Tigers.
I forgot Arkansas is Josh's team.
Yeah, they're my team.
Yes.
And this is me going against my better judgment. I don't know why I think that Arkansas is going to win. It's going to be back-to-back huge games. I don't know. I don't know what it is about me picking them. And I mean, LSU paid off for me last week. I picked them last week, and that worked. So big. I'll go Arkansas, I guess.
Students or LSU? I really struggle with this one because Arkansas, I think, had a bye week last week, right? So they beat Tennessee, tear up their turf, tear down the goalpost, get fined. And then LSU wins a very emotional game in overtime over Ole Miss. But they're better than Arkansas, so they should go win this game. I don't love it, but I'm going to go LSU.
I am going to go with LSU, too. I'm not picking against them 2 weeks in a row.
All right. Let's move on. Notre Dame and Georgia Tech. This line kind of grew as the week went on. It's gone to 11.5. Thought it'd be closer than that for this game. Josh, what do you think of this one?
Yeah, could this be another situation like we saw last week with Maryland Northwestern? Another upset? Maybe, but I don't see it happening. I just can't pull the trigger on it. I'll go Notre Dame.
Okay, students are with you. I'm Notre Dame as well. I think the Irish still feel like they're in that playoff. They're about 10 or 11 right now. I think they can't afford to drop this one. I think they go on the road and win.
There's 2 teams I don't pick against, Penn State and Notre Dame. So I got the Irish.
Yeah, I'm not swimming upstream. Golden Dome all the way.
Man, Jeremiah's playing it safe this week. See, that's what happens. You get a little
not really. I mean, I'm just following the students.
All right.
He's following the students, he said.
Yeah, he's following the students. How about that? That's crazy. All right, Miami at Louisville. The students get the first pick on this one. The Canes, 4.5-point favorites. They like Miami. I do as well. I think Miami goes on the road. Louisville has been a hard team to figure for me. I think they're okay, but Miami's better. I think the Canes went on the road.
I haven't picked Louisville once this year. I'm not starting this week, so I got Miami.
Yeah, Cam Ward has been really fun to watch. I mean, he's a turnover machine, but at the same time, he can let that thing rip and bring teams back. I still can't get watching him bring the team back from Cal out of my brain, and they've got really good talent. So, yeah, I got to go with the Canes as well.
They've been tested, but I love Miami, too. Like, they have probably the best quarterback in the country in Cam Ward, like you said, but in close games, even if it is close, they figured out a way to win. I think that this one might be close, but they get it done again this week.
Yeah, it should be an interesting game. Again, 4.5-point favorite by the Canes. All right, ready for your Husker question?
Yeah.
Everybody? Yes. All right. Indiana has not allowed a first-quarter point. Does Nebraska get on the board in the first quarter Saturday in Bloomington? I'm going to say yes. Huskers scored their first 3 games on their first drive. I think they find a way to get points on the board in the first quarter.
Yes, I do too. I say they score in the first quarter.
I'm going to go yes, too. I think we get at least a field goal, and that's saying a lot. So I'm hoping we get a touchdown. A touchdown's what we need, but I think with Raiola and company, I think we'll have a good game plan coming off the bye. I'm going to put a lot of trust, and we talked about this on the Sideline Slice with our pod with Jess about the openers, right?
Yep.
Satterfield hopefully having a script to attack this Indiana defense initially off the rip and get things moving quickly that we've done in the bye week, and that should equivalate to points when we get in the red zone.
I might give you a bonus point if it's a field goal.
Hey, I'll take it.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I think the Huskers get it done. They score. Indiana has played well this season, but they also haven't faced a team as good as Nebraska. So
it's like 79-0.
Yeah,
first quarter total.
It's kind of like their first quarter and Nebraska's second quarter.
Right.
It's like 63-3 or something in the second quarter. Listen, if you're going to give Searles a bonus point for that, then you need to take one away for that time he doubled down and didn't get it. So I'm keeping notes.
That's fair.
I'm keeping track of
Keeping
this.
receipts over there, Jess. Huh?
By the way,
Receipt queen over here.
students are upstream. They say no. Huskers do not score in the first quarter.
Hey,
so a little different on that one. I don't think we're very different this week.
We got a few.
There's a few out there.
We only had 3 games that we all went the same.
Safe boy, big dog, playing it.
Hey, listen, you got to know when to take your shots or not, Greg.
Safe dog. He's not big dog this week. He's safe dog.
Oh, that's aggressive.
Well, enjoy the game. Should be another great slate. And the Huskers get a win early. Sit back, watch some good college football the rest of the day, including those big night games in Georgia, Texas. That'll be fun. Enjoyed it, guys.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Will do. Have fun. Have a safe trip to Bloomington, crew.
Well, our picks of the week brought to you by Choices Treatment Center. If you or someone you know is struggling with a problem gambling, free treatment is available in Nebraska. Call Choices 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300 for more information. Offices in Lincoln and Columbus. We're back to hear from fullback Barret Liebentritt. We'll do that next.
Is your phone system holding you back? We know how important smooth, reliable communication is for your success. Whether your team is working from the office or on the go, you need a phone system that keeps up with your busy day. At Hamilton, we offer business phone systems that adapt to your needs, making every call clear and every connection simple. Upgrade to a Hamilton business phone system where advanced features meet unmatched reliability. Are you ready to transform how you communicate? Better phones, better business. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Last season was a banner year for the Huskers, winning 5 Big Ten titles. Nebraska also finished in the top 25 in the Directors' Cup standings. Beardmore Subaru congratulates Husker Athletics and Nebraska student athletes for all their achievements and stands behind you again this season. Go Big Red! Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue has the all-new 2025 Subaru Forester, the same trusted SUV it's always been, only more so. Love begins with trust.
In the game of life, we all face tough moments. Sometimes it feels like we're up against a formidable block with no way through. Call, text, or chat 988 for the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. It's free, confidential, and staffed with trained counselors ready to listen and provide support. Don't wait for the final set. Reach out, speak up, and let's bump, set, and spike this challenge together. Because in Nebraska, we're more than players. We're a supportive community. Remember, in times of need, call a timeout. Call, text, or chat 988. It's okay to ask for help. We're here for you. Every serve, every pass. Go Big Red. Presented by Nebraska DHHS.
For almost 50 years, Sid Dillon Buick GMC Cadillac in Fremont has been more than just a dealership. We're a family dedicated to serving yours. Shop Nebraska's #1 volume Buick GMC dealer for the new car, truck, or SUV to fit your needs. We're also your GMC Business Elite dealer for commercial vehicles. Visit us at SidDillonBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
Drives us, Sid Dillon.
A lot can happen between falling in love with a house online and owning it, between imagining living there and breathing in your new home for the first time. Having an advocate who can help you navigate the complex world of financing, inspections, negotiating, analyzing the market, and talking through any anxieties that may pop up, that can make all the difference. That's what the expertise of a Realtor can do for you. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors and bound by a code of ethics, because that's who we are.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear Truckin' Awesome, want more horsepower in the stable? The Tundra iForce Max is the most powerful Tundra ever. With its electrifying twin-turbo V6, you got everything you need. Saddle up the Tacoma TRD Pro. Its segment-first performance seats are designed to smooth out the shocks when the ride gets bumpy. The Toyota 4Runner is part mean streak, part wild side, and an all-around icon. Check out that signature power rear window, will ya? Yes, sir, Toyota trucks. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Hello, Husker Nation. This is Lex Rodriguez, All-American Libero, serving you an ace on behalf of Noddle Companies based in Omaha, Nebraska. Noddle Companies is a full-service leader in commercial real estate, digging deep to create thriving communities like the Builders District, Exarban Village, and the contemporary row house townhomes. They bring world-class concepts in fashion, great eats, gorgeous homes, and green spaces, all professionally managed by Noddle Services. To dig up more information, find them on Facebook and Instagram. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska.
Out here, we raise stronger people, stronger crops, and we proudly raise our flag to that. Let the weather, pests, and pressures try to beat us down. We only keep growing up. With the next-gen genetics, the pure acre-for-acre know-how of these soils, and a deep pride of our roots, we are born to raise at Hogemeyer. Learn more at therightseed.com.
This fall, be ready for every tailgate, touchdown, and adventure in a perfect car, truck, or SUV from Sid Dillon Chevrolet. Visit us in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo and shop Nebraska's #1 volume Chevy dealer group. We're also your Chevrolet Business Elite dealer, offering medium-duty trucks and low-cab forwards. Visit us at SidDillonChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
Husker fans, visit a participating AGCO dealer now until November 1st and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets and pregame hospitality passes to the Nebraska versus Wisconsin football game on November 23rd in Lincoln. See your True Turf and Ag locations in Osmond, Columbus, and Falls City, Osceola Implement, and Kearney Equipment to enter for your chance to win this season.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center. It is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody back with you here on a Thursday night. It's our last show of the week. No show tomorrow. Husker volleyball will bump us there in East Lansing, getting ready to take on Michigan State. Early in the week, Jess had a chance to catch up with the Husker fullback, Barret Liebentritt, who's doing a really good job in some short yardage situations, goal line situations for the Big Red as well. Here's that conversation.
How was the bye week for you and the team?
It was good. Gave us a chance to, recover, get our bodies right, but also at the same time gives us a few extra days to practice and be physical, and then also, really focus on some of the basics and get back to some of the things that we focused on, the fundamentals from camp, getting back to some of those and really refining some of those as we get ready for the next 6 weeks.
How did you guys dive into just, the process of getting better and using that week of evaluating what you've done so far and how you can build off of it?
Yeah, I think the coaches did a lot of deep dives in terms of, things we're doing well, things we're not doing well, and then put emphasis on those things. And then, really last week was a few practices to where we could maybe try and work on some of those additional things that we need to improve down the stretch, whether it be, making sure we can run the football or making sure getting guys open or special teams, all those things. So all three phases of the game we're able to improve that during the bye week.
I know you're a guy that this offense relies on a lot for a lot of different roles. It maybe doesn't always show up in the stat sheet, but how do you feel about your role and how you've evolved and what you can contribute to this offense this season?
Yeah, a lot of times so far it's been, short yardage and things of that nature. Obviously, that's kind of the nature of the job for a fullback, but continuing to expand that to, whether it be base downs or things of that nature. But I just kind of like to think of myself like a kind of a closer mentality. Like when I come in there, I get one shot to go try and run somebody over or knock somebody out of their gap. So that's really what I'm trying to do. Kind of think when my name's called is just run out there and I get one shot to make the play.
I love that. How fired up do you guys get when they call out that big package and, hey, it's us versus you, and we're going to take over this and we're going to punch this thing in or get a first down?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's really kind of the DNA of what this team is and what we need to be down the stretch. And so, yeah, I mean, I get excited as soon as I hear that, like it's go time. The defense, they know what's coming, and so can you stop it is really the question. And so for us, it's just about being the more physical team, being able to run off the ball, move people back, and then ultimately find our way, whether it be first down, end zone, whatever we need.
Not everybody wants to play your role. Why are you wired that way where you want to take on that role and be that guy for this team?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I've always been able to hit people, and so yeah, I mean, that's what I excel at. I don't necessarily have great, like, not super tall, not like a lineman size or anything like that. So finding a spot to where, you know, I can run through somebody, use my leverage, use quickness and speed, and try and continue to be more versatile in that role. And then also just being able to run through people is something, I mean, I always wanted to play a fullback since I was a little kid. I always dreamed of it. So I've been watching guys in Nebraska do it for years and years and heard from my dad many times of the great Husker fullbacks. So trying to continue that.
Oh, that's great. Last thing, just, you know, what's the approach for the offense going on the road at Indiana? It's going to be a big-time matchup, and I know physicality is going to be important, as always, for you guys, but what are going to be the keys for this offense?
Yeah, I mean, they're a good defense. They're a top 10 defense right now, and so for us, it'll be about, yeah, first and foremost, we need to be able to run the football. We need to be able to create explosives in the run game, and then from there, hopefully open up the passes. Obviously, Dylan and the wide receivers are doing a great job out there with throwing the football, and so, yeah, if we can make both those things go, then I think that really gives us a great chance with as good of a defense as we have.
Great stuff. Appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
You know, again, it doesn't always show up, but on the stat sheet, but those guys in that fullback room, those tight ends are a big part of this offense. And you know, I watch a lot of the interaction with Coach Raiola, Donnie Raiola, and then that group, and just helping protect with the offensive line and all of that. So I enjoyed chatting with him. I love his answer about, I've always wanted to play fullback. You know, not everybody says that, but he always wanted to be that guy. He likes to hit people, and gotta love that short yardage. They like when that gets called. I can tell on the sidelines when they get fired up about that.
Husker fans love them, the fullbacks.
There's your guy.
There's your guy.
There's your guy.
Well spoken. I enjoyed listening to him.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Hey, folks, Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with a home team at Woodhouse, the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Final break, final segment of the show coming up next.
Here in Nebraska, we love our teachers. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is teaming up with Husker Athletics to recognize teachers who help students live their best and healthiest lives. Visit huskers.com/touchdown for teachers today to tell us about your favorite Nebraska educator. Winning teachers get a school day visit from Herbie Husker and a VIP experience at the 2025 Husker football spring game, thanks to their biggest fans at Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska. Head to huskers.com/touchdown for teachers today.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks, making them America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. Introducing the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the 2024 North American Truck of the Year. This is the next generation of built Ford tough.
Get a 2024 Ford Super Duty for 1.9% with Ford credit financing, or get $2,000 bonus cash only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Life doesn't come with guarantees, but working with Rob Seco comes pretty close. Our strategic investments in the seed we offer are designed to directly improve your bottom line. From full trait platforms, breeding and development, to field-by-field planning and seed-driven crop inputs, with Rob Seco, you have precisely what you need to improve plant performance and increase yield. Every farm, every crop, and every acre. Learn more at robseco.com.
If you've been looking for a reason to fill up your car with unleaded 88, how about this? Unleaded 88
can help you save big at the pump
and save the planet by cutting greenhouse gas emissions.
Any car 2001 or newer is approved to use unleaded 88. Speaking of good, it's made from corn, which is great for farmers.
As I was saying, if you need a reason to choose unleaded 88, there you have them. Unleaded 88. Engine smart, earth kind. Visit chooseunleaded88.com to learn more.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Here in Nebraska, we love our teachers. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is teaming up with Husker Athletics to recognize teachers who help students live their best and healthiest lives. Visit huskers.com/touchdown for teachers today to tell us about your favorite Nebraska educator. Winning teachers get a school day visit from Herbie Husker and a VIP experience at the 2025 Husker football spring game, thanks to their biggest fans at Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska. Head to huskers.com/touchdown for teachers today.
It's time for some Nebraska farm facts. Want to know a fast way to rev up our Nebraska economy while helping the planet? It's right in your tank. When you fill up with clean soy-based biodiesel, you're increasing Nebraska biodiesel production while reducing greenhouse gases by up to 74%. So look for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, our economy, and our farmers. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Folks, there's a new blood donation competition happening among Big Ten schools and a $1 million prize on the line. Nebraska currently leading top of the leaderboard. So if you bleed Husker Red, donate blood and submit for Nebraska at big10.org/Abbott, ABBOTT, before December the 7th. You don't have to be in Nebraska. You can do this anywhere in the country. Go to the website, get your card to verify that you did it, and we could get the university a $1 million check from Abbott.
And Greg, the lead is extended since we talked about this last night. Woo. So they have a live leaderboard on that website that shows just, again, it updates currently or constantly. And since last night, 100 more donors have donated for Nebraska.
Great.
Since we were on the air. So good job, Husker Nation, and keep it going.
Fantastic. Good news from Hibner. Husker soccer leading Oregon 2-0 near the halftime, playing really well. Could get 3 big points. They still have a shot of making the Big Ten tournament. Need some wins, so this would be big tonight if they can hold on out there. They'll play Washington Sunday. Tim in Minnesota. First of all, happy early birthday to Jessica. Sunday, your birthday. You got big plans?
Thank you. Hopefully, we're coming off a big win.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, not really. No plans.
25 again, huh?
Yes. Yep.
Interesting how that kind of just halts, stops right there. Well, enjoy the day. It should be good weather for the weekend, too. So.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Sideline reporters, that's always big. What's the weather going to be like? It's going to be nice in Bloomington.
Well, you're always the one that keeps you updated on what I need to wear and pack, so should be nice. I was also telling my brother and dad, too. Apparently, there's like a blackout happening.
Yeah, they want Husker fans to wear black because the color scheme.
So my brother's got a black shirt that he's going to wear.
Sweet.
And then I got my dad, so should be fun. And yeah, I'm excited. Never been there, and good weather, and so hopefully we're talking about another Husker win next Monday.
Classic Big Ten campus. Love their campus. I don't know that you'll see a lot of it while you're there, but I keep you abreast of the weather, but you're not as high maintenance as the other guy.
Thank you for saying that. He tries to act like I'm the one that needs to be babysat.
We could write a book on that, couldn't we? On that deal. So
I texted him the other day. I was like, 2 words, wrong stadium.
Yeah, Lucas Oil. You're going to go to Lucas Oil there in downtown Indianapolis for that thing. So, hey, great show tonight. Always fun to hear from Troy Dannon. Thank you for the participation from everybody tonight on the program. Again, no show tomorrow. Volleyball, Huskers, and Spartans as they take on Michigan State in East Lansing. 4 o'clock pregame coverage. Thanks to Conway for steering the ship with us for tonight. You all have a good evening.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health.
Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Husker fans, visit a participating AGCO dealer now until November 1st and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets and pregame hospitality passes to the Nebraska versus Wisconsin football game on November 23rd in Lincoln. See your True Turf and Ag locations in Osmond, Columbus, and Falls City, Osceola Implement, and Kearney Equipment to enter for your chance to win this season.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. When you've got beer and football, nothing is hard until the other team scores. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Life doesn't come with guarantees, but working with Rob Seco comes pretty close. Our strategic investments in the seed we offer are designed to directly improve your bottom line. From full trait platforms, breeding and development, to field-by-field planning and seed-driven crop inputs, with Rob Seco, you have precisely what you need to improve plant performance and increase